Hi everyone. So first of all, thank you very much for providing this feedback on Lab Zero. Well, apparently most of you found it useful. Some didn't. Well, I guess if you didn't find it useful, it means that you are already very good with R, so you probably don't need any recap on R. But anyway, um, so most of you who have actually tried it, so it was a good revision. Yeah, blah blah blah. Now, mark topics that you already knew before taking Lab Zero. Well, apparently most of these topics you already knew. Well, at least most of you did. Most of you of those who actually submitted the feedback, except for our notebooks. Apparently, our notebooks is something new for everyone. And in the next question, so four of of you um, labeled it as something that is not sufficiently covered, and at the same time. Um, um, there were some questions here about how to use our notebooks, downloading of LaTeX and knitting to PDF. So this is something that I probably should explain a little bit. So let me do that. So let me explain about what our notebooks are and what they're for. So in R you can type your code into the command line like here. So I don't know, something like this, and then you will can get plots and output and whatever. You can also create an R file and just run the whole R file or just any little chunks of it. But I found that working with pure R files is not very convenient. So you can create a new R script here, right? And then you can create some, I don't know, load data. X is going to be, say, a normal variable. You can print X and so on, right? So you can do that. But sorry. To be honest, I don't think it is very convenient. And the reason it is not very convenient is because if you run it, you kind of have to run the whole thing. That's one. And the second is that if you want to insert some explanations, then you can only do it as comments. Okay, so it looks like. So here we load data. So you can't really insert anything nice into an R file, R script. While R Markdown is something where you can type both normal text and formatted normal text, and you can type your R codes and you can run your R codes. And when you knit such a document, so when you click on knit to HTML, right? So what you get, you're going to get a kind of nice, readable document where all the R codes that you inserted, they will automatically generate some output. So which essentially means that you can produce a report. And if you need it into an HTML, so there are some libraries in R that can make it interactive. So there will be some sliders that you can play with and so on and so forth. Right? So which makes it extremely useful. Now, apparently I need a lot of packages to do this. So let me install those packages. Well, while packages are installed, let me give you some more features. Right now, whenever you have an R code, so you can just press here and run the current chunk. And when you run the current chunk, you see that it has computed whatever R code in that chunk is supposed to do. So X values, and it usually is going to print. It's just that now my R is doing some other work, so which is why it is not printed here. Uh, okay, allow access. Well, at the same time, so there are some short keys, like to run the current chunk, you press Ctrl Shift Enter, run next chunk. Sometimes it is useful to run all chunks above a certain place. So if you're here, you can just run all chunks until this position, like run all chunks above, and then it's going to run. Very convenient. Okay. Um, so let me see if R markdown. Okay, R markdown I think is going to produce. So when you run R markdown, so now it's going to run all the chunks somewhere under the hood, and it's going to produce an HTML output. Yeah, here is our HTML output. So this is a nice readable document with some simple formatting. By the way, the kind of way to to make lists, to make headers, and so on and so forth. So this is called, or to highlight some stuff here. This is called markdown, right? So if you want to get familiar with it, well, the syntax is very basic. So, but you just Google like markdown syntax, and then you will find out. But you don't really have to know. So you just need to know that hash is for different levels of headers. If you type it like this, it's going to produce a list. If you use a star, then it's going to produce some kind of an unlabeled list, and so on. It is pretty simple and it is pretty convenient, right? So, but the important thing is that there are some chunks of R code that are going to run as R code. So, and this is what they look like. So there are triple, this kind of symbol. I don't know what it is called, like something like apostrophe, but it's the opposite of apostrophe. So this triple symbol, then R in parentheses, in curly brackets, and then you type your R codes, and then whatever is in between, you can run it. So if you delete this, then it becomes impossible to run because now there are some errors, right? So this is because you didn't end the R chunk. So when you insert this triple on the keyboard, it is on the left of one, this symbol. Okay, so then that's the idea. Uh, Sometimes it is useful to comment out a particular section, right? So if you want to produce a report, but you do not want to include, say, I don't know, this part into your report, then you select it and press Ctrl Shift C, and then it becomes commented out. So this is the way to comment out your stuff in Arnold. And now I can say neat to PDF instead of HTML. I can neat into PDF. All right. So let me see if it's going to work. So for the just to make this kind of um, just to make sure that I am in the same condition as you, I um, did not install. I'm using a fresh, clean computer, so I just downloaded R and R Studio onto that computer. I do not have LaTeX on that computer. Okay, so this is what happened to some of you, right? So you have this error message that PDF LaTeX not found, right? So this is where you need to install some LaTeX. So this is only important when you have some LaTeX equations. So if you don't have LaTeX equations, I think it is going to work, but probably there are LaTeX equations somewhere here, I guess. I just don't remember. So let me install LaTeX. You know what, let me do the following thing. So let me just, to show you that this part that I commented out, it disappeared, and I'm going to produce an HTML rather than PDF, because for HTML you don't need to install it. And then this is going to be an HTML document, and the part that I commented out is just that does not appear, right? So our notebooks, the document that you're working with is and blah blah. So this part is not here anymore. Okay. Now I'm going to return it back. So I'm going to highlight everything, and then I'm going to press Control Shift C. So now it is going to be computable again. Okay, so how do I install LaTeX? Well, strictly speaking, you are mathematics students, and most mathematics students just need to have LaTeX on their computer. I mean, it's just convenient. But if you seriously don't want to have LaTeX on your computer, then what you can do, I believe that it's going to work if you just install this package TinyTech in R. Oh, and after this, you're going to run a special command from this package to install um, a LaTeX on, well, kind of mini version of LaTeX onto your computer. I think it should work. To be honest, I've never tried it, but I think it should work. Now, let me run this command. So now it is going to sort of download a mini version of LaTeX that is just able to produce PDF.